what was here beforehand?
Nothing. It was just absolutely bare. You really want varied bird life and your mammals visiting your garden, you've got to build it from the ground up.
Irene Kelly is keen on encouraging wildlife to visit her suburban block in the Melbourne suburb of Knoxfield.
So what I'm getting here is crimson rosellas, galahs, musk lorikeets, eastern rosellas, magpies, mudlarks, corellas, and we've even had a straw-necked ibis on the big tree out the back. And then, of course, we get a range of insects, different butterflies. So, yeah, you get a heap of things, and it's very interesting.
Her bush garden contains mature trees as well as a mixture of shrubs and ground cover species, catering to a wide range of critters that reside from the treetops right down to ground level. You've got lots of lomandra growing around about.
Yes, lomandras are absolutely great habitat for butterflies. They like to get deep down in the foliage for shelter, whether it's overnight or out of the cold.
A bit of protection sort of thing.
That's right, yeah.
Now, I've been looking at your mulch. That's fantastic mulch.
Yeah, any kind of mulch is good in the garden, but one that contains leaf matter, wood chips, flowers, all of that is going to bring in all the invertebrates into your garden.
And that's obviously then tucker for the birds.
That's right, yeah.
Irene believes the best way to attract local fauna is to use local plants wherever possible. Plenty of correas around.
Oh, yeah, heaps of correas, and although I've got lots of native ones, I'm really keen on the local Correa reflexa, but this is a native one. I particularly like correas because they do have this lovely relationship with things like the eastern spinebill. The eastern spinebill's beak is designed to really access the nectar. And the interesting thing is you'll notice the flowers go deep down into the foliage, and that allows the small bird security as it feeds, because often the larger birds will want to drive it off and have all this for themselves. Correa, it's a lovely plant, yeah, and flowers for a long time. And then there's this ground cover hakea, which is really tough. This is quite a hot spot, dry spot here.
It's quite prickly.
It is quite prickly, so you can see the emphasis on me trying to bring in those small honeyeaters because I get a wealth of the big birds. So there'll be lots of plants here that are very, very attractive to the small honeyeaters.
Planting cover plants and food plants side by side is another way she makes the birds more comfortable. Now, this is an area I can see rather prickly plants.
Yeah, this is an area that's really built up nicely, and I'm hoping will attract the small birds to the garden. We've got correas on either side of it that will hopefully draw them in to feed, and then they've got the security of this prickly foliage. And I've also created, out of a little ramekin that I got at the op shop, I've created this little bird bath.
And why is it in there, though?
So that they can feel a bit more secure as they feed. And I believe that the larger birds don't find it very comfortable going into this prickly foliage.
You've got a lot of low-lying water containers for the birds and critters.
That's right, Jane, because different sorts of birds like to feed at different levels, and interestingly enough, that one is favoured by magpies of all things. Look how shallow it is. So, you know, it's good to have a variety in the garden.
And some are hidden. I see one in there.
Yes, well, this one here, I'm hopeful that's available for the little lizards to use. And as you can see, there's a little log jutting in it so that they can get in and out much easily.
Now, I've got to ask you, what about the feeding for native birds?
No,
that's a bit of a no-no, isn't it?
The best thing you can do is put in the natural plants, the natural vegetation that will feed them for themselves, and they can find their own food, and we can enjoy them as they go about doing natural behaviours, and it's so important. And also provide ourselves with such a wonderful experience in our own gardens of seeing that natural behaviour.